This is Dave Palumbo with RxMuscle.com. I'm here at the 2010 NPC Nationals, here with Chris Aceto and Toney X-Man Freeman, and we're going to do the men's wrap-up of the final event here today. Great event, Chris. I think there was over 500 competitors in the show here in Atlanta, Georgia, one of the biggest nationals of all time. One of the biggest men's events. I think there was over 200 competitors in here. Robert Bernanke, the Lithuanian giant, wins the overall here, gets his pro card. Give me your overall impression of him yesterday and today.
I have to revise what I said yesterday. Yesterday, I absolutely did not have him winning. I actually picked Keith Williams to win, and when he came out tonight, Bernanke, the first thing I thought of is he's absolutely the winner tonight. He was so much sharper tonight, and he had a more dense look, a full look. I agree with the decision. So.
Toney, being a big guy yourself, Bernanke probably sports 23-inch arms. His calves are among the biggest calves I've ever seen. What was your impression of Bernanke in that super heavyweight class?
It looks good. I'd never really seen him before. I mean, other than the magazines, I never got to see him live. But he looked really good. I didn't pick what's the guy you said before?
Keith Williams.
Yeah, Keith Williams. I heard he looked really good last night, but I thought maybe tonight he didn't. I don't know.
He didn't do it for you.
Yeah. And Steve, the guy who got third, 25 years old, a lot of potential. I had it between him and the guy who won.
So who would you have picked had you been on that judging panel?
The guy who won, then Steve. Yeah.
I thought that Bernanke last night was a third. I had him in third last night, maybe fourth. And tonight he looked completely different. He looked like a different bodybuilder almost.
I had him in third last night, and I had Kuklo second with Williams first. And today I thought Williams was he just looked like empty, flat. And I had Kuklo. Kuklo looked much better tonight, and Bernanke looked much better tonight.
What do you think Williams did wrong? Do you think it's just been all these months of dieting, show after show after show? It just wore on us?
I don't know if it's anything that he did really wrong. I mean, a two-day show, you can't look the exact same 2 days in a row. And the proof of that is Bernanke, because he looked just radically different tonight,
I think that's what happened. It's 2 days, and, most people get one or the other. It's hard to get both.
I think once your metabolism starts to run away with you, you have to almost start eating junk to keep up with it. Maybe Williams was afraid. He thought he had it wrapped up. He didn't want to take a chance. I know you would have given him a piece of pizza.
The opposite. Look, to me, it looked like he went 8.
Oh, you think he did?
I didn't see him last night, but I heard how sharp he was last night, and I don't think he was as sharp. Now, that could have been because his body cannibalized on itself or whatever, but I thought that, the guy who won, I don't know these guys.
Robert Bernanke,
yeah. I'm sorry, I wasn't here.
He's a newbie for the wrap-up process.
I wasn't here last night, so I can only go by what I saw tonight. So.
Did Williams flatten out too much? I think that's what happened.
He just looked at, when I say empty, he just, compared to last night, he didn't have the pop to his muscle. And then you're comparing these guys. I mean, it's a comparison. Kuklo was absolutely fuller and denser tonight. And
is he a future champion, Kuklo?
Absolutely. Absolutely. At some show, at some pro show.
I think so. I think he's...
what do you like about his physique?
The fact that he's so young and he looks that good. So, he has another, I'm 44, so he has another,
20 years?
You know what I'm saying? To get better. And if he looks that good at 25, he could only get better unless he follows the crowd. He needs to, bodybuild for himself, stay within the realms of his genetics, and he'll be straight.
You agree?
That's great advice. I agree 100%.
At this point, does Kuklo need to be bigger, or should he stay the way he is?
No, I just think he needs to, bring in more polish. That's all. He's got the structure to do well. I mean, he's hard. He just got to get, a little bit extra edge, whatever that means to that muscle to make it look like it has more pop to it, to have more professional quality, and he's gonna do it.
Let's talk about the men's heavyweight class. Fred, Biggie Smalls, maybe not as good as he was last year here at the Nationals. Much better than he was at the USA. Narrowly edges out. Well, I don't know if it was narrow. I didn't look at the scorecards. He edges out Juan Morel, who was second at the North American. I thought the decision was a good decision. I thought Smalls looked good. What did you like about him? And tell me what he needs to do to improve.
Well, it's another one I got to revise. 2 day show, because last night I had by a smidgen. I had, and that's what I used for a word. I gave it to Morel, and then tonight I had, right out of the gate, I had Smalls. He just had a denser look tonight, fuller. He was harder in the back where he was not as hard last night in the back. And I think that, that along with, just a fuller, overall harder package tonight gave him the win.
What did you like about Smalls?
His swagger. I think tonight.
He poses kind of on stage like you do.
Well, he just knew he was on tonight. Like I said, I didn't see him last night. You could see that he felt it in his body, and he felt that he was on, and he looked like the winner to me.
Yeah, I think so. Give me your opinion. I know you said this last night. You gave a very good compliment to Juan Morel, who finished in second. Where does he go from here? Does he just put more size on and come back here next year?
Yeah, he reminds me of Toney, meaning when Toney was coming up, obviously he had the structure, and people said, you got the structure, you just need more mass, and that's what he needs. He's got the structure, which is the hardest thing to get when you're in bodybuilding. You have to have it, and he has it. He just needs probably just more training time under his belt. Next year, he's another guy who could win the show.
How many times has he done it?
This is his first year really at the national level.
Try 5 or 6, You know what I'm saying?
Now, seeing a Morel kind of a big structure like you have, taking him a little longer to fill it out, what advice would you give him, giving the veteran you are of the sport?
Just keep doing it. If he's at second place already, I mean, he can only get better. Bodybuilding is one of those type of things that takes years and years and years to really get to the point where you're as good as you can get. A lot of people try to rush it, try to get too big too quick, and then you start distorting your physique out of the realms of your genetics. So if he just sticks with what he's doing and just be patient, I mean, he's like I say, he's knocking on the door.
Let's talk about the men's light heavyweight class. Brandon Ray, who wins the class, gets his pro card. I saw you watching him pose, and I know you were really impressed with him. You even said to me that you thought he could have won the overall.
I picked him. It was close, but that's who I picked. I'm into the total package. He was really hard. I mean, he didn't have a skin fold nowhere. I mean, you can't put too much more muscle on his body. He was in shape. He's been trying at it for a long time. Not taking anything away from the guy who won, but that's who I picked. But it's bodybuilding selective anyway.
What'd you like about Bernanke? What'd you like about Brandon Ray? Obviously, he won the class. Number one, why did he win the class? And number two, how'd you like him in the overall?
What I loved about him is that he looked like the clear winner the minute he stepped on stage at prejudging. And out of all the class winners, he was the one that when he came out, okay, it's him and everyone else. Super shape, super fullness, density. Cap delts, cap triceps, full pecs, full quads. I mean, that's a lot of he's
a lot of compliments.
He's got it all, and you know what? As sharp as he was, if he can get that physique sharper, that physique is just dangerous. Even on
dangerous 202 guy.
He's a very dangerous 202 guy, and for the overall, I would go with. I can see Tony's argument or his. I respect his opinion, and I can see. I just think Brandon was just a little bit too small to take out Bernanke for the overall. A little bit.
Talk about Brandon in terms of that 202 class. Tony says that he's almost pushing too much muscle in his physique. I think I might agree with him. Would it be a mistake for him to not stay in that 202 class?
He's got to stay in the 202 class. He's got to. I mean, there's another world. There's Pluto and there's Jupiter and Saturn and all the other big planets. He should stick to what his forte is. And the 202 guys. The problem is with the 202 is that it's crazy, just as crazy as the men's open now. I mean, 4 202s. There's a lot of good guys, but he's going to be a front runner right from the get go.
Talk to me about Miguel Neal, who finished his second here. Obviously, I don't think it wasn't a close contest here. What does he do to improve?
He looked great. He just has to bring the same thing what he brought here next year, and
a little more size.
Yeah, a little more size, and hope that a Brandon Ray doesn't show up in his all-time best and full on it was a tough show. There's nothing to knock his physique really. Maybe a little bit more size. In
the men's middleweight class, I don't know if you saw that event. Roger Ferrer won that event in kind of like a controversial decision because a lot of people weren't expecting him or talking about him. Doesn't mean he wasn't good because he had a phenomenal physique. What'd you like about his look, and why do you think he won the class?
I don't know him. You know what I'm saying? I actually had I had a couple other people ahead of him, but that's because I didn't see prejudging. So I just go like by shape and symmetry and stuff like that. And when I don't know a person, I'm completely non-biased. So I just look up there and see what's what for the evening. I don't know what he looked like last night, so I figured the decision was probably made more last night than tonight.
Stoylov was second, 2 points behind him in second place. What was your opinion of that class?
I gave that class to this guy who got second.
Stoylov?
He was really sharp. And when I looked at it, I was trying to second guess the judges. The guy who won had a fuller look to him, and he was hard enough. You know what I mean?
You see Rogers being a good 202 guy down the road?
Yeah, I think he'd make a good 202. It depends on which 202 show. It's like, will someone be a good pro? I mean, there's the Arnold, there's the Olympia, there's the, and then there's kind of like the secondary shows. Secondary 202, yeah, he'd make a good 202.
Let's talk about the men's welterweight class. Dr. Victor Prisk, our good friend, who's done plenty of work with me. I've known him for many years. Orthopedic surgeon, does surgeries every day. Brings it home, wins the pro card.
Sharp as he was in great shape. He was in great shape, and that was a good class too. There were a lot of other good guys in second, third, and fourth, and you could argue, that some places could have been switched there, but I think the right winner was chosen.
You like Prisk?
I picked him. Yeah, he looked. He was. Everything was there. He was in great shape. He must be a really great person too to win that award.
Yes, he won the Steve Stone Friendship Award or whatever it is called.
Steve Stone was a really good friend of mine. Awesome dude. So
he was Victor.
He really just kind of just straight up won.
Victor was there when Steve Stone passed out originally and did CPR on him, so I think that was a very special, heartfelt award for him. And
I wonder what he had to do to get that award. So cool, he did it.
Plus, he's the kind of guy anyone can call him up and ask him questions about their injuries, and he'll talk to them and send them for an MRI, and say he's real good like that. So congratulations, Victor. In the men's lightweight class, Leo Pacheco, who we thought got robbed at that USA in the lightweight class behind Kelly Batista, redeems himself here, wins the class, gets his pro card. What'd you think?
Good condition, I think the best he ever looked and deserved to win.
And in the bantamweight class, I will not forget you. Rich Siegelman drops down from the lightweight class to the bantamweight, wins his pro card. Congratulations. He's the NPC chairman in Maryland. All in all, the show is phenomenal. I think we had some great competition here today. Congratulations to Robert Bernanke, winning that overall, bringing home the title to Las Vegas, where is now a new adopted home. He's originally from Lithuania. Chris, any final comments?
Unbelievable show when you take into consideration the total number of bodybuilders, and there were not many people here who didn't look like they were here to win the show. I mean, there was a lot of depth, a lot of good condition, a lot of good physiques.
Tony, final words?
It never ceases to amaze me how much the sport just keeps growing, and the quality of the athletes. And I just want to just give everybody congratulations, and just keep doing it, because that's what that's what it's all about.
Well, thank you to Hot Bods for the beautiful shirt. Chris didn't bring his, and Tony can't fit one. We got to get him a shirt.
You need to make some big boy sizes. I got the small waist, so don't worry about that. Just 5X, 4X. 4X should be good.
We got to get Tony a shirt. But for now, I'm hungry. We're going to go eat. I'm Dave Palumbo with the X-Man Toney Freeman and the instigator, Chris Aceto, rxmuscle.com.